go ahead and open up the Belka app connection here, and then I just push and it's done, it's connected. And then we're ready to brew. So I'm going to go ahead and place the dripper, the UFO V2, right on top. Depending on what dripper you have, you may need to use the little attachment that's going to come with the Belka portal. But for the UFO, it's a perfect fit, and so you don't need to use any attachments. Alright, let's go ahead and grind some coffee. $16 grams, perfect. And then you're literally just going to brew as you would normally. You don't have to do anything special. And then I'm going to hit, for my reference log, I'm going to hit my last log so I can compare exactly what's happening from this brew to the last brew. So now I'm going to hit record, and then I start brewing. So yeah, you literally don't have to do anything special other than just connecting the Belka to your phone and then hitting record before you actually start to brew. And so it's a really pain-free experience when it comes to connecting the device to your phone and collecting data. And so as you can see here, during the bloom phase, the two graphs are very, very similar to each other, which is what we want to see when it comes to consistency in brewing. But of course, because during the bloom phase there's such few drops that are actually coming down, these minute differences in noise and data isn't really something to worry about. Then, yeah, at 1 minute I'll pour another 50 grams. Just trying to replicate the recipe. And so we see that extraction has decreased a lot. Again, the same as the previous log, previous brew. In 30 seconds, I'll pour another 50 grams. And again, we're following really closely to the last log, which is exactly what you're trying to see and accomplish when it comes to consistency. And then at the 2 minute mark, my last pour of 100 grams, 50 gram circle, 50 gram center, lifting up all the fines and then keeping the fines suspended up on top, utilizing this brew method. And again, we're seeing that the EC lines are nearly overlapping for the most part of the brew, which is showcasing consistency in brewing. So this is going to allow you to see how consistent of a brewer you are and how consistent of a brew method that you're using is. And so, yeah, it's a really incredible tool for you to use in brewing to understand what's happening in your brew and what's happened in your previous brew and how different skills and tools or techniques may affect exactly what and where throughout your brewing. And we're just going to let this drain through fully, and it is fully drained through, as you can see up top. And so now that I'm done brewing, I'm going to stop recording, and boom, now we have two logs, and we're able to see that they are very, very close to each other. And so, yeah, this is a fun little experiment that you can run your own self in your home or wherever you are with the Belka portal. Well, now that we're done brewing, it's time for me to try these two brews and see how they taste. In theory, and from my previous experience with the Belka portal and the hundreds of brews that I've logged, what I found is that if the two EC curves are similar to each other, right, then the brew actually ends up tasting very, very close to each other or indistinguishable. And so we'll see if that holds here. So here's the first brew. And here's the second brew. And yeah, I mean, if I were to do a blind triangulation on all these different A/B tests or whatnot, I would not be able to distinguish the two brews. And so, yeah, the closer you can get the two EC curves, or 3 or 4 or 5, the more consistent of a brewing you will have done. And so, yeah, Belka Portal is going to really help you understand consistency and different variables in brewing. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to try to find an example, a bad example, yeah, of what could happen if you weren't really a consistent brewer. Let's see here. This is with, okay, here it is. So let's compare these two brews. So as you can see here, the EC lines are very, very far away from each other, yeah, and so this is almost half the reading of the previous log, and so this is something that you may see if you weren't so consistent in brewing, or for instance, here something that might have happened is maybe grind size was lower.